In the depths of darkness, a tremor arose, and the world changed for a moment.
Η παλιά τάξη κατέρευσε και κάτι νέο ήρθε.
The old order collapsed, and something new was born.
Η γέννηση ήταν όμορφη και οδυνηρή. Κάθε αρχή έτσι είναι.
This creation was both beautiful and painful, like every great beginning.
Μια ιστορία μπροστά, οδηγούμενη από ομορφιά και επιθυμία.
A story lies ahead about the forces of beauty and desire that set the world in motion. This story, Aphrodite, goddess of love and desire. Before time had any meaning, the world was trapped in the grasp of Uranus, the god of the sky, a cold and endless rule that left no opening for change. Yet fate, in a horrifying twist, brought Cronus's blade down upon his father's body. Drops of blood and the seed of the overthrown god fell into the embrace of the boundless sea, where the dark waters mingled with the remnants of an ancient divinity. The sea began to boil. A white shining foam appeared across the expanse of the ocean, but this was no natural phenomenon. It was the first pulse of a cosmic need. From that surging foam, a being rose whose sight sent shivers through the particles of the world. She was born not of a womb, but from the intersection of absolute violence and unwilling sacrifice. Her name was whispered, Aphrodite. She had come not to soothe, but to conquer. The moment her marble feet touched the shores of the island of Cyprus, the earth beneath her steps changed in nature. Red flowers sprouted from the hard stones, and the air filled with a heavy, intoxicating fragrance that no living creature had ever breathed. She disrupted the balance of Olympus. When she entered the hall of the gods, a deadly silence fell upon all, for the gods realized that a power had arisen that fought not with lightning nor with spear, but struck at a truth buried deep within the essence of every living being, desire. Aphrodite was not merely a goddess, she was the embodiment of that force which unites or rends the galaxies. Zeus, king of the gods, saw in her eyes something that instilled fear in the hearts of immortals. He saw that this goddess could bind the will of the mightiest rulers in chains of silk. Aphrodite quickly realized that her weapon was the absence of reason. She took her seat upon the throne and fastened a magical girdle around her waist, such that anyone who gazed upon it lost their mind and intelligence. She ended wars before they began in the beds of those who would fight, and shattered peace with a single fleeting glance. Even Ares, the bloodthirsty god of war, fell to his knees before her. A man whose presence made the world tremble became an involuntary shadow in Aphrodite's presence. This was the height of beauty's tyranny. She ruled not only over humans, but over the elements themselves. The rebellious waves of the sea calmed at her smile, and storms arose at her wrath. She reached a point where no decision in the world could be made without her hidden influence. Yet, this absolute power came at a steep cost. The stronger the bonds she wove, the deeper grew envy and ruin. The greatest challenge came when Aphrodite, in the peak of her divine pride, decided to play with the fate of entire civilizations. The tale of the Apple of Discord was no mere contest among deities. It was a battle to prove the absolute supremacy of desire over reason. With the promise of forbidden love to Paris, she ignited the flames of the Trojan War. In that moment, Aphrodite crossed the borders of her duties. She saw how her beauty could turn into ash amidst thousands of corpses. Witnessing Troy's fall became her point of no return. She realized that her power was a double-edged sword, one that wounded not only mortals, but her own heart. When her son Aeneas was wounded on the battlefield, and she intervened to save him, the blade of a mortal tore through the goddess's crystalline skin. Ichorus' blood spilled upon the earth, and for the first time, Aphrodite tasted pain and helplessness. After that event, Aphrodite was no longer the reckless goddess she had once been. She reached a deeper truth. Beauty without suffering is nothing but illusion. She transformed from a proud conqueror into the guardian of the secrets of the heart. She understood that the survival of the world lay not in absolute dominion, but in the continuity of attraction and conflict. She became a form of existence beyond her material shell. Aphrodite multiplied in every rapid heartbeat, in every moment of birth, and in every destruction wrought by passion. She transcended Olympus and became an inseparable part of the atoms of being. Aphrodite's story does not end with death, for desire never dies. At the culmination of her path, she became a pure cosmic force, a power that holds the stars in orbit and draws life from the heart of nothingness. A world without her would be cold, mechanical, and lifeless. Her legacy is the sacred chaos that compels all beings to move. She proved that even in a world of mighty gods, it is this force of attraction that holds the final word. Aphrodite still exists, not as a stone statue in ancient temples, but as the invisible force that, in the moment two gazes meet, challenges the laws of physics themselves.